On this episode, Brett and Dude invite the Flying Buckeye back onto the show as we dive into 4 store picks of Angels Envy private selections. Find out what we thought on this episode of The Bourbon Hunters. But before we get started, do you want to support our podcast? Do you like bourbon gear? Visit our website at www.bourbonhunters.com to buy some of our custom bourbon gear and to support the podcast. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us on our hunt for great bourbon. Reward yourself and sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy. Welcome to another episode of the Bourbon Hunters. I'm Keith Wolf, joined by
Brett Ryan,
and we've got
the Flying Buckeye.
the Flying Buckeye.
2 episodes in a row.
Call sign Buckeye. Yep.
I like it. I like it.
Now I'm going to ask you this, and I know the answer I think already. Have you had a chance to watch any Ted Lasso yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
Fair
no,
enough.
I haven't.
That was the one assignment. Now I failed to give you my credentials.
Yep,
what
your
I may
Apple
do
login.
is just give you one of my iPads, and then you can sit, if you don't mind sitting and watching from one of those.
It's kind of fun. I wasn't sure if you were too serious about that or not. But
No.
I'll come back on another episode.
I am
and
dead serious
I will
because
give my review on it.
anytime we can show Tyler is wrong.
Oh, a chance for me to get brownie points. All
Yes.
right.
Well, yeah, for sure. Now, and here's the thing. Tyler's just dead wrong on this. Like
Tyler's wrong on a lot of things.
It's one of the best shows I've ever watched. It's a feel-good show. It's a little sappy, but not in a bad way. It's not like over-sap, you know? It's just the right amount of sap. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's...
No, there was like that movie, The Peanut Butter Falcon. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but anyone that's seen The Peanut Butter Falcon, it's a very like feel-good movie, and it's a little sappy, but it's not too much.
The Peanut Butter Falcon?
Yeah, it's
When is it from?
it's not that old, and like
I've never even heard of it.
It's basically about a story about a kid with Down syndrome, and he's in a nursing home because no one wants him, and he's young, and he's around all these old people, and he keeps trying to escape, and then he finally escapes, and he goes on an adventure, and then he makes like best friends with a person that's like he knows that he has Down syndrome, but he's like, so what? Suck it up. Let's go do this. You know what I mean? He's like, well, everyone's told me like I could never go swimming, and he was like, they're stupid. Let's go swimming. And it's just like a good feel-good story, man. It really is.
And it's a movie.
It's a movie, yeah. It's got Shia LaBeouf, or however you say his name in it.
Oh, maybe it was like
Shia.
Shia.
Yeah, Sean. Is that what it is?
Shia?
There's
There's no L, yeah.
Oh, I thought there was an
Well,
L
there's
in
an
there.
L in LaBeouf.
LaBeouf. Maybe I
LaBeouf.
been blend
Well,
those
dyslexia.
together. But it's a great feel-good movie. So I kind of derailed, but along the same lines, to know what you mean by like sappy, but not over sappily, and just sappy, and just a good movie.
Yes.
I blindsided my girlfriend with a really sappy movie last night that I didn't know was going to get this sappy.
What was
you guys
that?
ever seen A Man Called Otto?
No, that's
with
Tom Hanks.
Cruise?
though.
Yes.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Not Tom Cruise. Damn it. I got Tom right.
Yeah.
I forgot the first
Got half
part.
of it
There you
right.
go. Yeah, no, I love Tom Hanks movies. He's just, he really assigns himself to really great writers and good scripts, and he always puts himself in good situations, I feel. This one, is an emotional drama.
Yeah.
A really emotional drama about this old man who is just sick of the way of the world these days. Of everybody on their phones and stuff.
Is Tom Hanks the old man?
Tom Hanks
Okay.
is the guy that plays
I like it
Otto.
already.
Yeah, he's just this Clint Eastwood type
Yeah.
from Gran Turismo. Sorry,
Torino, yeah, that was a good movie.
yeah, similar character style where he's just bitter about everything. And the movie starts out where he goes into his last day of work, and they're kind of forcing him out. They gave him a severance package. They just wanted him out because he was a HR nightmare. So they're all cheery and happy and fake that he's leaving, and he calls them out on their BS. And they cut the cake, and he just kind of leaves. And then this story is about this guy who now has to adjust to doing nothing but yelling at neighbors and telling people to keep off his lawn.
Interesting.
Yeah, he eventually befriends a new couple that move into a condo down the row house from him, and it just evolves from him being mean to them to eventually being like the neighborhood hero.
Sounds like Gran Torino
A
in
little
that
bit.
sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little bit.
I mean, he became kind of the
hero.
as
Yeah.
well.
Mm-hmm. Similar to where this is not really a breaker, I don't think, but he passes away at the end of the movie. But the way that it happens is pretty sad.
Yeah, interesting.
And I didn't notice this little detail, but on Netflix it's labeled as a tearjerker, and I just completely glazed
I
over
didn't
that.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a Netflix one. It's not on Apple Plus, right?
Right.
What's
it's
the
on
one he
Netflix.
did on Apple Plus? So it's like with a mechanical robot or something, maybe.
Oh, I don't know if I know that one.
It's like My Friend. What was the one? What was the title of yours?
A Man Called Otto.
Yeah, I'll have to think about it. But anyway, so we haven't even said what we're doing yet, have we?
No.
All right. So we've had what did you call it? A gathering of angels?
A Gathering of Angels.
So we've got Angels Envy store picks. We've got 4 of them here, if you want to call them store picks, private selections, if you will. We've got one from OHLQ, which is the Ohio Liquor Agency. It's at 102.7 proof. We've got Costco version, hand-selected for Costco.
Do you know what state?
The Costco
Yeah.
came from? I don't know.
Okay, just curious. No worries. Sorry.
I would imagine they do it.
I think it's the same nationally.
Well, maybe not. They probably have multiple barrels in there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But it's 107.4 proof. Then one I picked up at the Angels Envy Distillery, I think, what did it say on my 2021?
I believe it said 2021.
And that's 109
This
proof.
is 2022, actually.
Oh, okay.
This-
Oh, we're in 23, so yeah,
Yeah.
that would be.
It was the Costco year.
And then
2021.
Party Source for 108.9.
and it's a 2021.
And anything different about those that you see that jumps out at you?
The necklace or whatever you want to call it on here, the charm.
Yeah, it's like
That's
I'm
on them.
expecting it to not be very good. It looks like the bronze necklace versus
Yeah.
the gold ones that we have.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even look at that, though. Yeah.
So, cool thing about these private selects, basically the Angels Envy bottle is the same. If you've ever done their cask strengths, they have the little embossed kind of looking shiny label on the front that tells you, instead of it being the year of the cask strength and whatever, it's actually an 08, like the label for whoever the selection was for.
It's like a plaque.
Yeah,
pretty.
but it's like a sticker plaque.
Yeah.
And then they have these little necklaces around the neck of the bottle.
Clang, clang.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's basically this gold, if you will, and maybe you collect them. I don't know, put them around something somewhere. But
Kind of like the keys with Blade and Bow.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm
Or the
saying
keys
that,
in my
yeah.
fishbowl on a Friday night. What? So they have these little keys on them. They're metallic of some sort. They look goldish. One of them looks bronze. I don't know why it's different. Does that one not have one?
No, they all have it. It's just behind the
Oh,
under
it's
the-
behind- there's a
yeah.
card on that. Okay, all right.
98 points, beautiful.
But
Oh, all
the
right.
cool thing about it too is on the back it has, what's it say? The year and
the
what else?
year of it, yeah. Privately selected single
Private
barrel.
selected single barrel, and then the year, and then it says Angels Envy. So those are pretty cool. Little keepsakes, I
Yeah.
would think.
Those are cool for sure.
You get to put those
Yeah.
onto a keychain. You could put those on.
You know, they should tap into the marketing gimmick that Castle and Key and Blanton's does. You know, label, give it a,
Collect 'em, yeah.
collect, make them
Yeah.
collectible. That'd
make
be
them
cool.
random, or some sort of random thing.
It reminds me of like kids' cereal. It's like, collect all 5.
Well, they could make it where you collect like 10 Angels wings and you get like something.
Yeah.
you know?
Right, yeah. Not a
I
bad
like,
idea.
because Blade and Bow does the chalice. That's kind of
Mhm.
cool. All right, what do we want to do? We want to go up in proof, so let's start with the 102.7, which is the OHLQ. Have you tapped into that one yet?
No, not yet. I'm going to open the label on this one.
So 2 of these, or 3 of these. 3 of these haven't been opened yet?
No,
This one has
this one
not.
and this one is not, but the other 3 have.
Yeah, this one's been. This doesn't look like.
This one's been opened.
Yeah, it doesn't look
that
like
one,
either
that
of
one,
these.
and that one have not. Okay. All right, so we've got 3 newbies. We're going to get some neck pours.
I'm gonna make a prediction that the OH, and I hate to say this, but the OHLQ is going to be the worst of them.
I know. I hate OHLQ's picks. The only thing they do well is the maker's marks.
And then my prediction for I think my favorite is going to be the Costco.
Oh,
Don't know why.
all right.
It's just, that's where
My
I'm going.
favorite is going to be the Angels Envy Distillery. I'm calling my shot.
Okay.
Because the distiller actually picked it.
But you've had it before as well, right?
Well, no. I've owned it before, yes.
Okay, I didn't know if you had opened it or not.
It is unopened.
This one, okay.
Just to be different, I'm going to claim the Party Source one, just because I was
That's
drinking that
fair.
around a bonfire 2 nights ago on my back patio.
Well, that's the perfect, in my opinion, that's the perfect way to drink Angels Envy, around a bonfire.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some like toasted notes to it. It's got, I don't know. But so what's really nice about this, we've done an episode of Angels Envy before with 2 times with 2 different Angels Guardians. Angels Envy Guardians is what they call them, the local reps, basically.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And
They gave us a little Angelitos.
Yeah, and the first one was the girl, can't remember her name off the top of my head, but they were both in the exact same building, but two different restaurant names when we did it, actually. So what was it, the first one? It was the Mexican restaurant? wasn't barbacoas. It was something with a B, I thought. But anyway,
Yeah.
we did the first one with her, Lindsay, I think. And she brought a whole bunch of stuff, a tasting kit and all this stuff, which was really neat. And we plowed through some stuff. And then we did another one with the Guardian about a year later, maybe a little later than that. And it was all cask strengths. We did all cask strengths on that. We did 2019, 2020, and 2021. And then he might have had a sample of 2022 when we did it.
He might have, too.
But I have not been able to get it the last year. The last year I went there, they were sold out. I was kind of upset about that. They've always been in the distillery on the trip, and that's when I've always gotten them. And then last year they didn't have it, so I went in and...
Cafe Round 2. What's the name of that
That was the
place?
second one.
Yeah.
But what was it called the first time when it was a Mexican restaurant?
I don't know, but I was really struggling for Cafe Round 2.
Oh,
and
I
it finally came
could have
to
gotten
me.
that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is our third Angels Envy episode.
Balboa,
that was it.
Sorry.
I did say with a B, didn't I?
Yeah.
So
I wanted to say Barrio, but it was Balboa.
No, Balboa, that was it. So third episode we've done that's purely Angels Envy. We've had Angels Envy Rye on a couple of episodes. I don't know that we've had regular Angels Envy on an episode, but this will be our third episode with Angels Envy. And this is a little bit different because these are private selections. So these are single barrels versus the cask strength one we did, which is technically a multiple barrel release. So these will be interesting. And I think these are a little bit less proof, I think, if I remember, than the ones we did from the cask strength.
I think so.
So that'll be interesting, too. Now, if you don't know about Angels Envy, located in Louisville. It's actually...
How do you say that town again?
Louisville.
All right, Louisville.
Louisville.
You got
It's
marbles
like,
in your mouth?
It's like you got marbles in your mouth.
You're right.
Absolutely.
It's
All
not
right.
Louisville.
I love poking fun at that, but everybody says it differently.
Yeah. It's all Louisville. But they basically get the name of their bourbon. Do you know how they get their name?
The Angels share.
Well,
So,
what's
homage to
left?
that.
What's left is the Angels
Envy.
Envy.
What
The
they
Envy
didn't
what the
get.
angel didn't get.
Yeah. So what's in the bottle is the Angels Envy. It's because what they didn't get. Yeah. So cool name. The bottles we've always talked about. The bottle's outstanding. Very unique. The wings on the back are really cool. The bottle just looks nice. It's sturdy.
It's a good display bottle for sure.
yeah.
But it's also simple. Like from the front, it's not crazy ornate. It's just simple, but the lines of the bottle are what kind of give it its character, in my opinion.
Yeah, when the bottle's filled with the juice here, it kind of gives the element of movement when those wings are on the back. 'Cause it's only on the back side
Yeah,
that it's
right.
printed on that glass.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Larceny bottle in the sense that if you look through the keyhole of the Larceny sticker on the front, you can see into the back of the bottle, and there's like a key or something like that there. Can't remember exactly, but there's something when you look through the keyhole. There's something on the other side. So that's kind of neat how they play with both sides of the bottle there. But it just, I don't know, there's something about the look of the bottle that almost looks...
Divine.
Well, it almost looks like a human shape, very like, I don't know, when something's not super, I guess, specific, like ambiguous almost. It's almost like if you were to see something in a foggy haze, it almost has like a very ambiguous shape of a human in my
Like
opinion.
a head and shoulders here.
Yeah, the shape, like that's what I feel like.
I see it like tapers down to like
Yeah,
a
and it-
waist.
Right.
and-
And then this is where it would be wings,
The
would
wings
be on
and
the
stuff.
back,
So
shoulder blades.
to me, it's always had that kind of a look and feel to it, and it's thin from front to back. So like, something about it to me makes me feel like almost like a human, or in this case an angel, but like the shape of a body.
It's kind of got a squatty neck too to the bottle. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can comment on this. I've heard that bottles that have a longer neck that juice that's in that neck part tends to taste really bad.
It's the neck pores, man.
That is a very divisive
Debated, yeah.
Debated.
divisive
Heavily debated,
topic.
huh?
So technically, I mean, it all mixes. So
Right.
it doesn't taste any worse than the rest of the bottle. What happens is it just hasn't oxidized much. There's not much air coming in contact with the surface of the actual liquid. And so what happens is when you open up bottles like that, they have a little bit of a different flavor than they do 20 minutes later. Because once oxygen starts interacting with the bottle and the fluid, the liquid inside, it actually changes the flavor a little bit. You get a little bit of evaporation. You get a little bit of, just
Magic.
Well, yeah,
Magic.
Well, here's the thing: a lot of people don't talk about when you age bourbon. Everyone talks about the impact of the mash bill. Everyone talks about the impact of the yeast. Everyone talks about the impact of the time in the barrel and the interaction with the barrel.
The wood, yeah.
But what they don't talk about very often, and some people are starting to more, is the interaction with the oxygen, the air inside the barrel. So the more it ages, it oxidizes, and that's why, in my opinion, you have to be a fan of Texas whiskey to like Texas whiskey. It doesn't have the same, even though you see a 3-year Texas whiskey look like a 6-year bourbon.
As far as the color goes?
Because of how hot it gets down there and its interaction with the wood, it happens a little faster. But what it doesn't do any faster is oxidize. So if you take a 3-year Texas whiskey that looks like a 6-year Kentucky bourbon, they don't taste like each other. They just don't, because it hasn't had that chance to oxidize. And I feel like, to me, Kentucky or places that are like Kentucky, Ohio, even like Oregon, it's temperate, but it also it has the swings.
Can get cold, hot, cold, seasonal.
I think those places are going to give you the best balance of interaction with the wood, oxidation, all of that type of stuff. That's just my opinion, and I know people in Texas probably feel the opposite, but that's just how I love the way it ages and interacts with the wood over time in Kentucky, because it oxidizes more. And I just think that there's something lost on that. And when people tell you, there's no such thing as a neck pour isn't technically what's coming out of the neck. Neck pour is technically just that first pour when you first opened a bottle that's never been opened before. It just hasn't oxidized yet. There's fumes sitting up at the very, very top of that bottle waiting to escape. And sometimes it dissolves back into the bourbon. And then when you pour out a little bit and create a little bit more surface area, because now it's a little further down, it has a little bit of time to react with some oxygen, and it does make a change. It does. And I've had some people come online and tell me that it doesn't, and I'm like, well, you're just stupid, because it does. It's been proven that it does.
Oh, yeah.
So if you don't think it does, you're just either dumb or you just don't know any better. So come at me with that.
I think you're going to get a lot of ats coming up.
I don't care, because they're wrong. So, unless they're agreeing with me.
Yeah, they're right.
So, but that's where neck pour comes from. It's not actually the neck pour. It's not like the fluid just in the neck tastes different than the rest of it. It's not.
You got to shake it up first, then there's no neck.
What a tangent. Wow.
He's just stirring the pot.
Love it.
Or shaking the bottle, if you will.
Shaking the bottle.
Just shaking the bottle.
All
Shake
right.
it
So we
off.
got this OHLQ on my 10-minute tangent there, sitting in our glasses. Have you guys had a chance to nose this yet?
I did. I got a
go.
lot of baking spice, personally.
Oh, yeah, right away. Cool.
Yeah, lots of baking spice is what initially
And there's
jumped out at me.
something sweet.
Honey, maybe?
Maybe. I was thinking maybe like a syrup of some sort, like a simple syrup,
Sure.
but not quite like a maple syrup. But this is OHLQ, so I'm expecting it to suck. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
same.
see.
There we go.
I mean, it's not bad.
It's not as bad as I thought it was
Oh,
going
it's
to be.
got it.
It's
that licorice?
percolating a little bit there. And then
Am I getting licorice on this?
I hope not. I don't like licorice.
I'm not a big fan either. It kind of finished with me with some licorice. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a quick finish that has a second little pulse, second little wave.
And what's that second wave taste like to you?
Now that you say
I think
I don't think I would have came up with licorice on my own, but it could be there. I'm gonna take a drink of water and kind of clean.
I'm going to go back to it too, but it's going to be disappointing if that's what I keep getting, and I hope they don't all have this. This is so it hits my tongue really well. The front of the tongue, sweet, nice, kind of bursts, and then as I swallowed it, a little bit more came back up flavor-wise.
I was trying so hard to be different from you to say not licorice, and I came up with good and plenty candy. Well, that's essentially licorice.
Yeah, I mean,
it is a candy, there's a very candy note to it like that.
But a heavier candy.
and I don't
not
mind
something light
candy,
and
but
sweet.
this type of candy is what I'm not a fan of.
Yeah. I mean, good and
Yeah,
plenty's not a bad
I
analogy.
could see, maybe not like Twizzlers. What's like the dark licorice?
Like the black licorice?
Yeah.
I think
I'm getting
isn't that just
black
called
licorice.
licorice?
I think that's just licorice, yeah.
Okay.
My dad used to love that stuff. Oh. And supposedly it was decent for your heart.
I think you're right.
But then whatever the agent is that's in it, or the root or whatever, licorice root or whatever it is, there's a cardinal just sitting right back there on the tree. See it?
Oh, yeah, I see it popping around.
We're on our patio, by the way. This is the third in our patio series of the year.
He gone.
Second one on my patio. The first one was on Tyler's.
Appropriate for doing the OHLQ pick. State bird comes
State
along.
bird, yeah. He knew when to make an
There
appearance.
he is. Yeah, he's coming. He's thirsty.
He's like, hey, guys, State Bird of Ohio here. Fill a bird bath with this OHLQ stuff right here. Let it have a good time. So this is hard for me because I actually enjoy the beginning of the taste. But what I'm not enjoying is the finish. It's and by finish, I don't mean the finish in port wine. I mean the finish in my mouth.
Right.
It's definitely got that flavor to me that I'm not a big fan of.
These don't have any age statements or anything, do they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
If I remember right from the distillery tour, I think it's a relatively younger whiskey.
Well, I think you may be right, but then, that
finishing.
The finishing helps, yeah, because it's it adds another flavor.
The color, though, gives off that it's not terribly young. I mean, it's not a...
But I think that's the red
could come
wine.
from the finish, too,
okay.
yeah.
That's my personal opinion, because I could be looking into it too much, but it almost has like a teeny bit of a red hint to it. But
Sure.
Because I don't know, I'm not a huge wine drinker, but port wine is like a dessert wine.
Yeah,
it's a very heavy dessert wine.
It's really light, though, the more you consume out of the bottle. Big difference between that and that.
That's also a lower proof.
Yeah.
So lower proof's going to look lighter anyway.
Yeah, that's only 86 proof.
Yeah, that's their standard offering. We use that as a primer. We didn't talk about that, but we use that as a primer before we started here. Speaking of neck pours, why don't we open the next two just to get the corks off and have a little bit of oxygen getting into it. So what's your overall take on this? You had it last night.
I had the Party Source one last night.
Oh, you had the Party Source. Oh, we just opened the OHLQ one, huh?
Right.
Okay. So I guess that makes more sense. So what is your take on the OHLQ?
This one, yeah. With the OHLQ, the nose, like you said, is great. It's baking spices, vanillas, and sugars. It feels like it's going to be pretty inviting. And you take the first drink, and it is. It's very viscous, kind of just slides down, and really, really good. Then there's a pause. It's a quick finish. There's a pause, and then, here comes the black licorice, whether you like it or not.
But how do you feel about that?
On a rating scale?
No, about black licorice. Does it bother you?
It doesn't bother me. I don't think as bad as you, but it's not something I'm looking for in a bourbon.
Yeah. Okay. That's probably a good descriptor. Not something I'm looking for in a bourbon.
This could evolve, though. You know what I mean? As it ages.
I mean, it's a brand new. It's a neck pour.
Right.
It's a brand new bottle. I mean, you give it a chance, and with the wide shoulders on that thing, it'll start to get a little bit more interaction with some air. I think you might. This might change a little bit over time.
I know I had an Angel's Envy a while back that once it got past those shoulders, man, that thing got really good. I don't know what it was, but it got really, really good. And then I was kind of sad when it was gone, but I've got I think 2 or 3 more in the basement.
That just goes to show that you're only interested in what's below the shoulders.
That's right.
Right. That's where the party is.
That's where the party is.
All right, fair enough. And your party source is getting close to the shoulders, so we're almost there. All right, so moving up in proof would be
we got 102.
This order here. So the Costco would be next. Did you add a little bit of water? Oh, you were just
clean them up.
Yeah, a little bit of water. That
you sure can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now that I've had that, I feel like the licorice is coming through almost immediately now. And it's interesting because it's almost like a cherry licorice. I'm getting a very heavy cherry side note with the licorice. So it's not like cherry flavored Twizzlers. Right. It's like cherry flavored licorice.
Black licorice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm getting a strong, and that's what's kind of saving it for me a little bit.
All right.
I could probably drink some more of that just because that cherry's there. Whereas if it wasn't, I think it would be totally turning me off right now.
So then, given the reputation of OHLQ and their picks, did this surprise you, or about par for the course, or are you
par for the course?
Okay.
Same.
So I've done now. I've been on site with them for 2 different picks, and every time they picked the worst one. picked the worst one.
Wow.
Went completely against the grain of what everyone else was picking. And it's almost like you're just there for shits and giggles, and then they go the opposite direction. Because,
interesting.
For example, at Middle West Spirits, the OHLQs from Middle West Spirits just released. We did that last year. I had Jeff with me when we did that. And I think that was in August, maybe, last year, maybe September. And it just now released. But we had what I thought was one of the best bourbons I've ever had from Middle West Spirits in my life. And that's right up there with our pick.
Wow.
And everyone there was like, oh, this is amazing. This has to be the pick. They didn't pick it.
Huh.
So the actual distiller, Ryan, was just like, I can't believe they didn't pick this. And so he said, well, I was like, hey, if they don't pick this, I'd love for this to be a Bourbon Hunters pick. He's like, no, this is going to be this is going to be a bottle shop release. He's like, we're going to release this as a bottle shop. This is going to be a Middle West Spirits release.
Yeah.
I was like, that's fine.
Can't say blame him.
As long as it gets released as a single barrel, I'm good with that.
Just Bridlin. I just saw out of the corner of my eye. I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes like a reflection. I'm like, are they behind me or are they in the house?
Yeah. So I just feel like, minus their maker's marks, I keep getting burned every time I try to buy an OHLQ selection of bourbon. It just seems like it's always a letdown. But I don't know what you think, Brett. Have you had some OHLQs?
Yeah, I had a Russell's Reserve that I was super disappointed about. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that.
It was it was a long time ago. We did a Russell's Reserve series, and it was one from OHLQ, and it was just kind of blah. It had a weird flavor to it, and
maybe they're just trying to go off profile.
Maybe,
and I'm
I don't
fine
know.
with that. But I feel like they're trying to go so far off profile that it doesn't taste anything like what you would want it for to begin with. I don't want a Russell's Reserve that tastes like an Old Crow.
Sure.
Right. I want a Russell's Reserve that tastes like a Russell's Reserve, but has something a little extra to it.
With it because it's
Yeah.
a single barrel.
Yeah, or something amplified about the Russell's Reserve that you normally like. Something a little more amplified even. That would be fine. But I don't know. Every time I get an OHLQ, I'll say I give it some time. I don't buy anything from them. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'll do it. And then I get burned. Every time. What did I just buy from them?
It's hard for me to pinpoint them.
Oh, I bought a Nashville barrel from them. All the Nashville barrels I've had from them so far, not from OHLQ, but from private selections, have been amazing. I get an OHLQ and it's terrible. It was absolutely terrible. And I'm just like, great, what am I going to do with this bottle now?
Right.
So it's just like, I'm almost done with buying any OHLQ releases.
When we were at Cafe Round 2 and they did, the whole Angel's Envy for us, they had us get or the bartender made it, an old-fashioned made with Angel's Envy, which I know would be an expensive, bourbon to use for old-fashioned or whiskey, whatever. But it was really good. It was, there was something, I don't know if it was.
It brought a little something extra to
Yeah, it was really good.
Huh. The bottom of the cork also has the little angel.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, and I don't know that it's always had that, but what does it say on the cork itself?
10 out of a 10 expression.
Yeah, and I can't remember. They told us what that meant on the
it's all the same.
on the episode.
Now this one doesn't have the wings on it.
Yeah, I don't think they've always done that. But I will say that
this one doesn't either.
Yeah.
Huh.
The guy,
this Costco one's going to be.
the guy that was the Guardian that was on the last episode we did with them, he explained what the 10 out of 10 expression meant. And I think it meant they're only the best. They'll only use the best or something like that. So 10 out of 10 type of thing. But all right, we got the second one here. This is Costco. This is 107.4 proof. Nose is a little sweeter.
Nose.
It's a little sweeter though than the
Yeah.
baking spices. There's something underlying there that maybe some powdered sugar or something,
Krispy Kreme, maybe.
which makes me not want to inhale too much because then I'll suck it into my lungs, the powdered sugar.
I do not get powdered sugar.
Have you ever done that with
No.
Oh, God, it's the worst. You go in to sniff something that has some powdered sugar on it, and then you snort in some powdered sugar. It's like, oh, my God.
Cocaine, but no, I'm kidding.
Not as good.
juvenile booger sugar.
That's funny. So you don't get powdered sugar?
No.
You get anything sweet?
I don't get powdered
No.
sugar, but I do get like a Krispy Kreme kind of.
Yeah, that could be what it
smell.
is.
I might have COVID again. My nose is way off from you guys.
Well, your baking spice was on, right, last time?
Yeah.
We're not getting pine, are you?
No, you know what this weirdly smells like? You ever smell like the end of a match? Like
The
matches?
sulfur end?
Yes.
No, it doesn't smell like that at all.
I'm telling you, man, that's what I smell.
Are you
It's
sure
weird.
you didn't fart and you're sitting in it and it's just lingering? The wind hasn't
Oh, that's
blown
what it
away?
is.
You got,
dog
got
farted.
caught in your mustache and beard.
I'm serious. This is weird.
You didn't toss any salad before you came here, did you?
Well, I can't talk about that on the air.
All right, I'm going in.
Yeah, that nose is weird to me. Now the taste on this is much better.
Yeah, much
Yeah.
better. Much better.
Viscosity
Which,
is good.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Moving away
OHLQ,
from OHLQ.
they're like one for the century.
The nose is just weird for me. I don't know. I can't.
I actually like the nose.
I just can't. Something weird's coming through.
You
I don't get that second burst. I don't get any licorice here.
No, I don't
There's
either.
no second burst.
It's a good
whatsoever.
finish. It's medium finish, maybe a medium to low finish, which with a port wine barrel finish, that doesn't surprise me.
I get the sweetness from the port. I get a longer finish
It's a
that kind
longer
of coats my
finish.
tongue,
Mhm.
and so I do like it a lot for that reason.
Nothing's really rolling around the mouth. It kind of stays on your tongue, and it stays a little smoldering, a little burn there in the back.
Yeah.
But
It stays
There's
on
no
my
second
tongue.
pop.
There's a good. It's not a viscosity. It's a tongue coating, which I know that kind of
It
sounds
sounds the same.
synonymous,
Oh,
but
bubble gum. I got a little bubble gum.
oh, don't say that. I don't like bubble gum.
Oh, which one do you not like?
Like what do you mean?
Like anything?
Like
flavored
original
bubble
bubble,
gum?
like original bubble gum.
he grew up on
flavor.
zebra stripe, so he's just used to the
Oh.
flavor being disappointing.
Bubblicious, bubble yum.
None of that. I don't-
Bubble. Any of those? You don't like any of them?
No,
Well,
Big League Chew.
I used to like some Big League Chew back in the day,
but like
but
grape.
God, I don't even know what it would have been.
What about gum by the foot or whatever it is?
Oh, fruit.
they had gum.
The roll
Something by the foot, yeah.
That was you rolled it out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I remember that.
those.
Fruit tape or something like that.
There's something by the foot.
Bubble tape, maybe.
Bubble tape. Yeah, there was tape in there.
I think you're right. I think it was bubble tape.
I think we were thinking of fruit by the foot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
know
remember
what you're talking about.
those.
Yeah,
Snack.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was bubble tape, and
I
it was
think it
full
was
of like
bubble
powdered
tape.
sugar, so
Oh.
it didn't stick to
So
itself.
so
Was
good,
it?
so good.
I never
mean-
liked any of that bubble.
I loved bubble gum.
Ugh.
It just the problem with bubble gum is it didn't keep its flavor for very
Yeah.
long. You were like chewing like a soft rock after about 5 minutes.
I feel like it made me salivate so much,
Well, that's kind of the.
and I'm
yeah.
like spitting everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it will. It'll make you salivate. So take another drink, see if you get a little bubble gum out of this, which is still better than licorice. Come on now. Mm-hmm. All right. There we go.
I'll agree. I can be convinced
Yeah.
of bubble gum, but I wouldn't come up with that
Damn-
on my
damn
own.
straight, you could.
I'm
I'm-
kind of
I'm-
with you on this
I'm
one.
fucking killing it today. I'm being so suggestive, and you guys are just.
I hate it.
Yeah.
falling in
Hey
line.
man, the
am
power
falling
of
in line.
suggestion. You guys didn't fall for my matchstick.
I did not get sulfur whatsoever.
Yeah, it's still there.
So I have a question for you guys. Any of you guys use mouthwash?
Yeah.
Do any of you use Smart Mouth?
No.
No.
Amazing stuff. First off, amazing stuff. It
Is
lasts.
this a plug or like?
No.
Okay.
Well, if they want to,
I'm kidding.
advertise with us, I am more than happy. But only one bad thing with it. It's advertised. So it's two separate containers in a bottle, and you pour it over, and then they mix.
Yeah.
And then you swish and whatever, and it lasts for like 12 hours.
Whoa.
Literally lasts for 12 hours. The only thing that might throw it off is like garlic or onions or something like that. But outside of that, like you can do it
Smart
first thing in
Mouth?
the morning. Yeah, it's called Smart Mouth. There's two different. There's like the really dry mouth version and the regular version.
And it's two parts that you mix together.
It's
and
one
then
bottle,
swish?
but
Okay.
there's two containers in the bottle.
It's like JB Weld or something.
So like they're separated in the same bottle, and then when you pour it, they mix together.
Gotcha.
So there's like two spouts coming out of the top.
So
and
like a divider or a separator going down the
yeah,
middle.
like
exactly.
septum
Yeah.
in there.
But anyway, so that stuff is amazing. You do it before bed, you wake up, you don't have morning breath. It's crazy. Like, it's
Ooh.
amazing. Like, so that part is awesome. So if you're ever going, so this is my plug.
So
this is
you're
my
saying
plug.
I've cracked the code on morning sex then.
Yeah.
So, right. So this
Yeah.
is my plug. I was going to say, if you ever have a one-night stand or you're hoping for some morning sex, do some
Yeah.
smart mouth before bed. The one
right.
bad thing. So this is the one bad thing out of the whole thing. So let's just say you do it at night and you wake up in the morning and you want to have some orange juice, right? I like to have orange juice first thing in the morning. You get a taste of sulfur on the very first drink.
Yeah.
Until that first reaction or that interaction with whatever's coated in your mouth or something, it gives you this weird flavor of like whatever. So it messes with your flavor buds.
Flavor buds.
Yep. That's a technical term. It messes with your flavor buds like first thing in the morning, or like if you do it and then have something like that like a few hours later, that first drink of something sometimes doesn't taste right. But outside of that, once you get past that, it's fine. But I tell you what, man, I love that stuff. It's so good. So Smart Mouth,
Try that.
Smart Mouth, if you're listening, we'll plug your stuff.
You had me on no morning breath.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's like a $12 bottle, but it's worth it. I don't use it every day, but if there's a possibility,
You guys have a tongue scraper? Speaking of dental
Yeah,
stuff,
uh-huh.
got to get a tongue scraper. It'll
Those-
kind of gross you out.
It is.
You know what I mean? You're like, ugh.
what's coming off my
Right.
tongue?
Yeah. But then,
Right.
like, I feel like that makes your breath really fresh. I feel like
Well,
your tongue holds
The tongue's what holds a lot of the
those
nastiness.
bacteria and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Way back on your tongue too. You almost like.
after coffee, like the tongue.
Oh, yeah.
is like brown.
Yeah. It's gross.
It is. It's disgusting.
That's what we call it during the morning. Coffee,
Oh.
huh?
Old brown tongue.
Little brown tongue. That's where the brown tongue comes from, for sure. There's no salad tossing happening.
Costco better than OHLQ.
Moving on, as Brett says. Who put the? Oh, that one's just never been opened. Okay, so
This one's been
Wait,
open.
that one-
yeah. I just meant tonight.
Oh, I can take the lid off.
No,
if you want.
that's fine. Well, we're about to pour it, so yes.
Yeah, okay. So finishing thoughts on this one here. A little better than the OHLQ. It's a longer finish.
For sure.
No
For sure.
second pop like that OHLQ one.
Yeah, nothing
Better
comes back
mouthfeel
up.
for me all around.
It's just a cleaner experience. It doesn't come back up afterwards with licorice, especially. I do get a slight hint of bubblegum. It's not bad. But yeah, overall, I'd say this is better. It's better on the nose. It's better on the
right?
taste for me. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's the
So Party Source is next. The Party Source. Do you guys know why the S is underlined on Angel's Envy? Like, I don't know. Like, that's not like
That's
a
an
trick.
interesting
Like,
question.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just there may be no reason behind it.
There may be a reason behind it. Is anyone planning on going to the Kentucky Bourbon Festival this year?
I am not.
We were asked by a publicist if we would like to schedule a time to do a couple of their single barrel tastings that's going to be available there. So I don't know if they're going to send us samples or what, but I'm hoping that's
When
soon.
is it?
We had what was it? What was his first name? It was Praze.
Oh, yeah.
He was on last year.
Yeah.
Before and
He
asked
was right
us-
before.
and he asked us if we wanted to come there and be on site, like as a podcast, basically. I think we probably would have had to have paid to be part of that. I don't know how that works.
Probably.
I've never done that. But you know me, I would have had to have bought like a tent, a banner, a
Go
barrel,
big or go home.
a
Magnets for the van.
a barrel head, well, some swag to give away. or
Yeah,
something.
ball cap, something to
Right,
give out.
right.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it's probably good that we didn't go. But they asked, and I'm hoping they get back to us and say that we can do like a tasting of a couple of their private barrels that they do for because they do some barrel picks specifically for the Bourbon Festival.
Okay.
And I think it's in September. And they basically the way it works is it's a weekend long, but if I remember right, it was at the same weekend as Bourbon and Beyond, which is the concert in Louisville, and they're in Bardstown, and so like you're either going back and forth between the two, or you're just going to one or the other.
Right.
Which I mean, whatever. But anyway, Angel's Envy. So you guys start to know this. I'm going to look up, see if there's any information as to why Angel's Envy underlines the S.
More baking spice for me.
You know what's interesting for me? This one's a different nose. Are you getting grapefruit, maybe?
No.
No.
I think I'm having a stroke. My nose.
You smelling toast? Smelling toast?
Burnt toast is what it's supposed to be. No.
That's have you ever watched Archer?
No.
Oh.
So there's a season in Archer where they get their building back and they have this robot thing. They had this budget. They were supposed to do it all up nice and neat, but they did it exactly like it was before the place got destroyed, and it pissed off the owner, and she was so mad. But they did have this robot that was serving toast, and every time throughout the season, someone's like, I think I'm having a stroke, and then it would come around the corner serving toast. It was just this like subtle joke that they just had running all the time. So funny.
At work, we do have a robot that makes coffee. It's kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a full robotic, like, it's like a little kiosk and you put what you want and like this big robotic arm comes out and grabs the cup and like moves it and makes your coffee for you. It's kind of cool to see. I showed Tyler when he was at work when his wife was having her baby and he's like, what the fuck?
Huh. Yes, my company's old-fashioned. We still have humans that make it. They're called flight attendants.
That's terrible, but I like it. I like it. That's hilarious. So, all right, I don't see a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of so as soon as I type in to Google, why does Angels Envy underline the S? So many articles come up about how Angels Envy isn't actually bourbon.
Wow.
I'm like, seriously, guys, we get it, but come on. Like, it's made from bourbon. It's just finished in port wine barrels. So up until the point where they put it into the port wine barrels, it's technically a bourbon.
Yeah.
So now they're not allowed to say that they're a bourbon. So the way they get around it is Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in port with. Yeah. So they can't say that they are a straight bourbon whiskey. They can, as long as it says finished in port wine barrels. So that
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me. And at the end of the day, who gives a shit?
Right.
You know, do you like it? That's the question.
Yeah.
Do you like it? You know, same thing with the Jack Daniels
I was
argument.
literally getting ready to say the same thing.
God, all the people.
king of
Jack
bourbon.
Daniels is not bourbon. Yes, it is. You're just stupid. That's all. And I don't know why I'm so grumpy today. I should watch that
Clint
Man
Eastwood,
Called Auto.
yeah.
Is what I
Yeah.
should be
No,
watching.
go with Gran Torino. It's a little bit.
Or
I've
Peanut
seen-
Butter
I've seen
Falcon.
that.
That's a feel-good movie,
I've seen
too.
Gran Torino. You know what's funny, though? Gran Torino is actually kind of a feel-good movie, too.
It
It
is.
is.
Oh, he does the right
Yeah.
thing in the end.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen Auto, but
bites the bullet for it.
yeah, well, literally.
Literally.
I haven't seen the Auto movie, but it sounds like that could kind of be a feel-good movie as well.
Oh,
A
it's
lot of Tom
tearjerker.
Hanks movies are good. It's, you know what I mean? Like, the bulk of his stuff.
I don't know that I've ever seen my least favorite movie of his, and it's still actually kind of enjoyable, is Joe versus the Volcano.
You're going way back in
And
the
it is
archives for that.
not that good of a movie. But Splash, Joe versus the Volcano,
Money Pit.
I think Volunteers, Money Pit. What's the Bachelor Party movie? Was it just called Bachelor Party?
I don't know if I know that one.
Where it's a
Or
little
like Turner and Hooch.
Turner and Hooch. Holy shit!
That's a good one.
Oh,
Castaway.
Turner and Hooch.
Yeah,
God,
that's
that
an old one.
Yeah.
Castaway is a good one too.
Big.
Big. Oh my
heard
gosh,
of that
Big.
one.
Yeah. You've never seen Big?
No.
What in the
That's a
actual
good one.
what?
No.
Yeah.
That's a
You've
good one?
never seen Big?
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Before you
Yeah.
watch Ted
Ted
Lasso,
Lasso.
you have to watch Big. Holy, seriously, you've never seen Big?
No.
How old are you?
35.
What in what?
What and what?
I bet you Tyler has even seen Big.
Oh, I don't know. I bet he
Yeah,
hasn't.
you're
Is that
right.
a-
You're right. You're
Is that
right.
a
I
tall
bet he
statement?
hasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
This is the best one. I'm sorry. I
All
took
right.
a sip.
Oh, wow.
I
Is
don't
this
mean
the
to
party
derail.
source?
This is Party Source.
Hey, and it's at the shoulders.
It's a
I'm
party
getting-
in my mouth.
It's at the shoulders.
Grapefruit pomegranate. I want to see what you say. I'm trying to get my
On
nose.
the nose or on the?
Nose, yeah. I want to get my opinions first, so I'm not a follower.
I got some fruit in there.
I get some stone fruit. I don't know if I get grapefruit. But there is something maybe a little citrusy there. Maybe. I have
He's
to go
being
back to
He's being nice.
No. My nose is delicate. Like it's weird. I can't usually. I've been lucky tonight that I feel like I've been able to get some things more on the taste. I've gotten more on the taste, I think.
There's a little spice in there. There's a little hug. It explodes in my mouth. I get like tongue, like it hits like my cheeks, my tongue. Like I get flavor all in my mouth.
Oh,
That's me anyway.
I get a lot of bubble gum.
No, you don't.
No.
There's something sweet vanilla,
Ooh.
I get cinnamon, like a Cinnabon.
I was gonna say cinnamon roll, and I'm not even effing kidding you. I really was gonna say cinnamon roll.
But
Like
I got
the
it in
icing.
first, so I'm not
I was gonna
the
say like the
follower.
icing on a cinnamon roll.
He's the follower now.
I'm not joking. I was gonna say that, and I'm like,
When last we met, you were the follower. Or wait, I was the follower. Damn it. I don't know. Someone was the follower. Now.
this is my favorite one so far.
Oh, yes.
For me.
All right. Let me. I'm still guessing that mine's going to be the best because it was from the distillery.
That's fair.
And it's the highest proof.
See, I have a vision because I've
There's a
seen
climbing the ladder here.
But I've seen this happen. I have a vision that the Hendersons were sitting there around dinner table. I don't know, but I feel like there was a conversation where they were trying to decide which barrels would be available for their private selection, and they tasted this one, and they're like, "Nope, this one's going in our gift shop."
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
That's what I envision with this one. Lincoln,
Because of what New Riff did with OHLQ?
no, because of what
Or Middle West.
Middle West did, yeah.
Middle West.
So I'm envisioning that, but then I'm also thinking like there was probably a dinner between Lincoln and Harry. Harry and the Hendersons? No.
Oh, that's an old one too, man.
You've probably never seen that either.
I've seen that.
John Lithgow? God, you've
No.
got to see that.
It's like a
At least
big.
I know who John Lithgow is.
Yeah,
All
he's
right,
like a
well,
Bigfoot
but you know
almost.
who Tom Hanks is, but you didn't see
Yeah.
Big. It's only the movie that put him on the map. Huh. God.
I was thinking it was Castaway that put him on the map.
No.
No.
And that's relatively new for him.
It's probably not even a correct statement that Big put him on the map, but everyone has seen Big.
I loved
Not
Money Pit
not everyone
when I
has
was
seen.
younger.
Yeah, that's a good movie. And what's Sybil Shepherd? Is that his wife?
I think so. Yeah.
So not only Splash, Money Pit, Volunteers, all of those were probably Joe versus the Volcano. Those were all movies before I think Big. And Splash had Daryl Hannah and John Candy, and then I don't remember who all was in Volunteers. But then Joe versus the Volcano. Who was the guy with him in Joe? And who was the girl?
She really does
I'm trying to
go
remember
back.
the girl. It's been a really long
was the
time since
girl
I've
with-
seen that. It's
Oh,
been like
wait.
the 80s since I've
I
seen
think
that.
isn't Joe versus the Volcano? Isn't that Meg Ryan also?
Meg Ryan, yes.
And then you've
Yeah.
got Sleepless in Seattle.
That's Meg Ryan.
You've
You've
also
Got Mail.
You've got Mail with
They've
Meg
got
Ryan.
that was one I was thinking of. I was trying to
Yeah.
remember that one.
But you've got both of those with Meg Ryan. And then he did another movie with Meg Ryan.
He was in Dragnet with Dan Aykroyd.
With Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, that was actually pretty decent. He's
Joe
not
versus
in the
the
Blues
Volcano.
Brothers, is he?
No, that's Dan Aykroyd,
Dan Aykroyd
and
Belushi.
Belushi. Yeah.
Okay. And then they did the John Candy version, right? Or no,
Looks like his first movie is
Goodman.
John Goodman.
John
John
Goodman?
Goodman was in the second one, I think. Blues Brothers 2000, I think.
Oh
Bachelor
yeah.
Party in 1984. Wow.
What is it?
A movie called Bachelor
That's
Party
it.
in
I
1984.
said Bachelor Party.
Yeah.
I said that, but I wasn't sure. That's a little raunchy for Tom Hanks, actually, surprisingly. If you go back and look at it, he probably doesn't like to admit that he did that movie, especially now with all the Me Too movements and all that stuff.
yeah.
Like, honestly, that's probably one of the ones he wishes he didn't do.
Yeah, for some reason I thought Apollo 13 was older than You've Got Mail. I was thinking You've Got Mail goes way back. But
No,
98.
Sleepless in
But
Seattle.
I forgot about Apollo
Sleepless in
13.
Seattle
That's another
goes way
good
back.
one.
That was the. If you want to count the rom-com, what would not a trilogy but two be? Just sequels, I guess.
Yeah.
Sequel.
Yeah.
So a lot of people call like You've Got Mail almost like a sequel, even though it's a remake of a movie. More
That's
of a
when like
a
AOL
modern-
internet was a big thing.
Yeah, it
'cause
was
that's
more of like
You've
a
Got
modern,
Mail.
yeah, a modern telling, if you will. And they were actually just chatting. They were using like the AOL chat is what they were using, even though it wasn't really email. But anyway, that was a pretty good movie. I actually think I like You've Got Mail better than Sleepless in Seattle.
It's been so long since I've seen both of them. It's hard for me to say which one I like better.
And here's the reason why. I'm going to tell you this now. I am a father. I love my kids, but I will say that the reason why Sleepless in Seattle was annoying in some cases was because of his kid.
That's fair. Yeah.
His kid was just annoying in the movie. Like, it's just like, come on, that stuff's not going to happen.
Right.
But it's a movie, so you have to let some things go.
True that.
All right, so
I'm still stuck on what, for me, really put him on the map.
I would honestly say Big is the thing that really
Big
thrust
was a
them
really big,
into
literally, no pun
everyone's
intended.
living room.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
you can't get by a weekend without it being on some station.
Mm-hmm.
It is always on something. Now, I said that, and I just saw, what was one of the ones we were just talking about? It was just on...
We said so many of them.
No, I know. We listed his whole filmography. There was something he just was in.
Dude, Forrest Gump's always on, too.
Right.
Shit, Forrest Gump. Fuck.
Yeah.
You always forget that's even Tom
Yeah.
Hanks.
Yeah, that's...
I wasn't going to bring that up because that's a classic.
That's,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And that's like 94 or something?
94 to 95, somewhere in that range, yeah. Such a good movie. My God.
Yeah, I guess that would have put him on the map then for me.
For you,
For
being
you,
as
maybe.
young as you are.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in your mid-30s too, aren't you?
41.
41. Oh, all right.
But I appreciate the compliment.
I'm the old man in the group. I'm the old man in the group. So
That and Green Mile.
Green Mile's a
Green
good
Mile's a
one.
great
Yeah,
one.
that was a good
Green
one.
Mile,
That's a
I feel
long
like-
movie, though.
It is long.
But I
Yep.
almost feel like that was like the sequel to Shawshank Redemption.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Because
I
it
could see
didn't
It's a Stephen King book.
Stephen King do both of them?
Yeah.
I know the other one was a short story, Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Green Mile was a full book, right?
Yeah, and there's a theory, whatever you want to call it, that that book was written on. So it was back in like 1920 or 1915. I don't know if it was the state of Oregon or some state executed basically a person that had an IQ of like 46 for a murder that he didn't commit, and he was just like an IQ of 46. He was just like, oh yeah, I did it. Like he didn't know
Pats-
anybody.
He didn't know what he
Yeah.
was saying.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, and Stephen King kind of like wrote that book, kind of telling that story of basically how fucked up it all was. And it's a really sad story. Like when he was served his like last meal on death row, he didn't even eat all of it because he said he wanted to save some for later. Like
Didn't even know it was happening.
he didn't understand. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And he didn't get a pardon from the judge and all these things, or from not the judge, the governor of the state. And it's a sad, fucked up story. But
I feel like people get away with more for less nowadays.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so we're moving on that really down.
I know. That's why I tried to like change the subject
Yeah.
really quick.
Well, if you're still with us, thanks a
Yeah.
lot for not slitting your wrists while you've been listening.
Yeah. I just was an article on Reddit came up about that like a week ago that I was randomly reading.
All right, so this one we're passing around is the highest proof.
109, and this is the straight from the distillery private selection. My theory, we'll see if it holds true, of them passing it around.
Is this a new bottle newly opened?
Just opened it tonight. I've had it for a while.
Oh, man.
And so the last few barrel picks, you know where we parked for our barrel pick, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
We're right by Angel's Envy when we parked there.
Right down that one strip.
And so the last time I did one, not with you, I stopped in on the way back just to see what they had, and they had an Angel's Envy distillery. So it was in 2021, I think, or 2022, I mean.
Yeah.
And so I just dropped in, and I was like, oh. And they're like, oh, yeah, we've got I was seeing if they had the cask strength, and they're like, no, but we do have this distillery pick, private selection. I was like, well, shit, might as well.
Yeah, I would have grabbed it.
Yeah, and I did. So, all right, what do we get on the nose with this one? This is our last one.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Can't like
A little, almost like a maple sugar, maple syrup or something.
So I was just going to say that in the duty-free stores when I'm coming through Canada, they have these little not bourbon candies, but these little hardened maple syrup candies.
Yeah,
these
yeah.
little things, like Jolly Ranchers, but maple
The
syrup.
maple
taste.
syrup, yeah. That
That's
they've
what this smells
it's like a.
to me, you know, like hardtack candy that you make.
That's kind of what he's talking
That's
about.
what it reminds me of. Is like hardtack candy
But
that like
what flavor?
maybe.
Because you're talking like maple syrup version of that.
Right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. But something
Maybe
sugary.
like a
Funny, I have
cherry
maple
one.
syrup cookies in there. I really want to go get now.
You have some?
A maple syrup cookie.
Do it up, man.
We'll wait on you. You're good.
Yeah.
I'm just 2 doors down.
We'll pass it around and see. Grab 3 of them so that we can.
But yeah, it reminds
see
me
if
of
it
hardtack
enhances
candy.
the flavor.
Is what it reminds me.
Well, that's kind of what he was talking about. So he's talking about what those maple syrup hardtack candies that they make.
I don't know if I've had those. I'm serious. Not
But
maple
like
syrup.
duty free
ones.
places like
Yeah.
in Canada and stuff, they'll have those, and it's basically like a maple syrup version of a hardtack candy.
Yeah.
It's
With
basically
like a little powdered sugar on
diabetes
it.
in
Yeah.
in a candy. Diabetes.
And a wax paper.
Yeah. Oh man, this smells good though. I'm trying not to just convince myself that it's going to be the best because it's the Angel's Envy Distillery one, but
The nose,
the nose is
is
really
the best
good.
for me.
Yeah,
Like,
so
that's
far.
easily, you know.
Oh, it's a little bit of pepper
Yeah.
with a sweetness. That's weird, but not bad.
It's a close tie for me with the other one.
This is weird.
I like 100% I like the nose better on this one. I may like the Party Source one just a teeny bit more.
You're allowed. This is good though. This is interesting. It's got a flavor that I don't know that I've had before. With that little bit of a I don't think I've ever had a peppery kind of flavor from a Angel's Envy before.
I haven't. I do like the peppery, like spice.
Yeah, it's just a little different. Yeah, that's not bad. Oh, and that drink's even better than the first one. He's running with cookies.
That's hilarious.
What are these Girl Scout cookies? What are they?
I was going to say, it looks like Girl Scout cookies.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, man.
Oh. What do we have here?
Now that
Jakeman's
I'm back on audio,
maple cream cookies.
These come from duty-free stores.
I'll be
That's
damned.
the
company up in
the
Canada.
pilot's duty freeing it. Do you ever hit the duty free liquor stores?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
hope so. They're even little maple leaves. That
little
is
maple leaves,
fantastic.
yep.
Jeez, I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
I know.
Try this,
Thank you,
and then-
thank
Hey.
you.
So you know that sometimes these must sell in England because it says 18 cookies / 18 biscuits.
Biscuits,
Biscuit.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Real international treat for y'all.
All right.
Those are delicious.
They're almost like wafers. The cookies on the outside, and then the cream filled. So it's basically a sandwich. Think about an Oreo in a sense, but it's like a wafer.
But they didn't skimp on the cream in the middle, like
no,
right?
they didn't. They
No, they're not. Like Oreos. They've been getting thinner over the years, haven't
well, that gives you an excuse for the double and triple stuffs.
Right.
they? That's what they're
We
looking
talking
for.
about Trina? Hey-oh.
Only on Fridays.
And with the mouthwash.
That's Saturday morning.
All right, now I'm going to take a little sip of the bourbon. I will say that's the one thing. Oh, that's very good together.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, am I gonna have to get more stock up on these and keep
no,
bringing them over?
You're good. Kind of like a little envious of like wine drinkers is how they always pair like cheeses and like cured meats with wine and charcuterie boards and all that. Like I wish there was more of that with bourbon. Like, because I think I really enjoy pairing.
There is a whole
Food.
book. There's a whole book on that.
Yeah,
By
I'm sure there's not, or I'm not surprised. Is what I would say.
Really, I think you were only doing chocolates, right, with bourbon.
We did that at Lux Row, where we paired chocolates with bourbon, and it was fantastic. There was like a salted caramel. There was like a dark chocolate covered cherry. That's one of the best tastings I've ever done.
Lux Row?
The one that we did.
Right, but then
that
the next one was
time.
like one of the worst ones
Yes.
we've ever done. It's so funny. As Tyler would say, it was the carnosaur. Connoisseur. But he called it the
Connoisseur.
carnosaur.
Sounds like a Jurassic Park special.
I don't know if it's because Lux Row was new. I don't know if it was because, and it wasn't even that new, or it was something with like the pandemic and they didn't have that many people because they weren't doing the distillery tour, but they were doing their tasting and they would like show you a little video. But we got to taste the Lux 12, right, which is the 2 single barrels.
Yeah.
We got to taste the Blood Oath. We got to taste the Rebel 10.
Yep.
Oh.
And the last one was the Ezra 7.
Okay, so like
Old Ezra 7.
not that Old Ever 7 is bad, but 3 of those are like their top items.
Yeah.
We got to taste all 3 of them in this tasting. It was like $25 or something.
But
It wasn't that much.
The Old Ezra 7 is
It's not a
high-end
sleeper.
item.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
But I'm just saying, like, those other three are, like,
So if
very
you,
high items.
If you are, I know I've had some people asking me about books and bourbon and stuff like that lately. If you are into books, there's a book by Peggy No Stevens, and it's, more about what you're talking about. It's called "Which Fork Do I Use with My Bourbon?" And it's basically how to pair food with your bourbon. That's kind of the idea behind it. But it's "Which Fork Do I Use with My Bourbon?" And it's Peggy No Stevens, and it's a combo book. It's also there's also someone in there called Susan Riegler. Fred Minnick did the foreword, and it's got some historical stuff to it, and it basically talks about what to pair or how to pair food with your bourbon basically. So it's an interesting read.
I have to add it to my. I use the library. I'm a huge library fan because
Yeah.
usually when I read a book, I'm not going to reread a book.
Do you use that app where you can reserve?
Yep,
Okay,
yeah, I use it all the time, man.
All
It's
right.
fantastic.
So everyone here has a library card.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Do you all
and a
have?
Blockbuster card still, believe it or not.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I still have mine.
Do you all have the Canopy app?
I do not have the Canopy app.
With a
No.
K. It's basically Netflix through the
library?
The library.
I know the library like rents DVDs and all that, like which
This is
DVDs
this
is like a dead
streaming
technology.
This is a
but-
streaming app. It's on your Roku. It's on your Apple TV. It's called Canopy with a K, and as long as you have a valid
library card.
library card,
Okay.
it doesn't matter what city, as long as it's a regulated library card.
Yeah.
You can get tons of movies, tons of TV shows. Now, it's not as expansive as, say, like Netflix or Hulu and stuff like that, but it's a pretty decent amount of
Yeah.
stuff.
No,
Like,
I'll have to
there's
check that
actually
out.
some really cool stuff on there. And it's Canopy. And it's so many people pay, and it's free. As long as you have a library card, it is free.
Yeah. I use
And
my
it doesn't
library
matter
card all
from
the time.
what library, huh? Nationwide.
It does not matter which library you have. And just as we are speaking, here's some movies and stuff that are on here.
Big.
Chocolat. Trying to think of some things here. I don't see the Peanut Butter Falcon, but I see the Falconer.
Peanut Butter Falcon's a good movie, man. I'm serious.
All right, I'm just Pippa Lee.
It was so like
10 Cloverfield Lane.
That's good.
Which is the sequel to Cloverfield.
to Cloverfield.
Yeah.
That's got John Goodman
John
in
Goodman,
it.
yeah.
And it's a good, like, if you haven't seen 10 Cloverfield Lane,
That's actually good. Yeah.
it's very, like,
you need
suspenseful.
You need to watch Cloverfield first, I think, and then watch that.
you don't technically have to, but it gives you some, like,
gives you
background.
some background.
Yeah.
It gives you some, yeah. But anyway, like, there's not a whole bunch of amazing, like, high-end movies, but there's some. Like, there's August Osage County with Meryl Streep and Big Smile.
I'll let you guys in on one, too, called F Movies.
Julia, no.
F movies.
Yeah, like the letter F and then movies. It's a streaming.
You're talking about something probably illegal.
No,
right?
it might be illegal, but it's basically like someone's Plex.
Julia
and
Roberts.
you
Julia
can
Roberts.
Julia Roberts,
stream
right.
anything you want off of it.
Adore.
Big smile. You
Adore-
equate big smile with Julie Roberts, like big teeth.
Yeah, she
smile?
has a huge
I
smile.
guess.
Oh, yeah.
Robin Wright and Naomi Watts, Adore. That's in here. But like About Alex, do you remember that? I think that's the one where this was the old HBO movie where he's gay and he comes out. This is like in the 80s. Big movie About Alex. I remember that. Trying to think. Seven Psychopaths. Oh God, that movie. That was so good. That's in here. But like anyway, there's a lot of movies in here, and some of them are B movies, some of them are C movies. The English Patient's one of them. It's in here. So you can find some stuff. I mean, Sunshine Cleaning Company. That's in here. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff in here. It's surprising, and they're always updating. So like there'll be something in there for a month, and then it'll be gone, and then there's something else in there. So like leaving this month, for example, Yours, Mine, and Ours. Swingers.
Oh, yours, mine, and ours.
Yeah, Swingers with Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn.
Let's say Vince
Love
Vaughn.
that
Yep.
movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Aviator with what's his name?
Oh, Leo. No Oscar.
That only dates 20-year-olds.
He did recently get his first Oscar, though. What was
Yeah.
it for? Revenant?
Trainspotting, Clerks.
Clerks. That one's a funny one.
Clerks is, yeah.
Kate and Leopold, Bridget Jones, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, John Candy again.
Lemony Snicket, Vanilla Sky. These are all things leaving this month.
Tom Cruise,
Chasing
yeah.
Amy. Enemy at the Gates with who's the British actor?
Richard Gere?
No. Joseph Fiennes and Jude Law. Joseph Fiennes.
I like Jude Law.
And Jude Law. Margot at the Wedding with Nicole Kidman, Jack Black. The girl who played with fire, one of the books that got turned into a movie from...
that's from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah.
I read that
series.
series back in the day.
Jersey Girl. Cloverfield's in here as
there you
well. The girl who kicked the hornet's nest, the second one.
That's the third book.
Is that the third one?
That's the third, because the first one's Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
I thought the hornet's nest was the second one, and the third one was the Played with Fire, but maybe it's the other way around.
Maybe it's other. I know Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is the first one.
It's 2 and 3.
Yeah.
It's 2 and 3. Basic Instinct.
Sharon Stone.
Yeah, but my point is there's actually good movies in here. It's not just shit stuff. There's a lot of shit stuff in here.
I didn't know they made those other books into movies. I just thought it was just The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
I don't know if it's the same actors and actresses in those. Where's Leaving This Month? That's where I was, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who's in those. Let's see here. So
I don't remember the actress's name from the first one though. She wasn't like
she was a foreign actress.
Yeah.
Like Italian or French or
the one
something.
that played
like
with Daniel Craig.
Yes.
Okay.
This one has.
I've only seen that movie
doesn't.
once, but I did read the book.
Noomi Rapace was her name.
Oh God.
Elizabeth Salander. But it doesn't look like it's the same main character. This might be Stieg Larsson. This might actually be. This is 2009. So this is her. This might be the original, because didn't they do a trilogy of the movie in another country?
Maybe I know the book's
and then the
a
girl
trilogy.
that played the part came over to the American versions. I thought
It wouldn't surprise me.
but anyway, so the point is Canopy with a K. There are so many movies and things, TV shows, so many genres that are represented in here. Memento is in here.
Oh man, that's a
great
dark movie.
That's a good movie, very good movie. Good and artistic at the same time. Have you ever seen Memento?
Like heroin addiction and shit.
Oh, okay. Man, he's going to come up
Am I
with a
thinking of a
shopping
different one?
list.
Is it about heroin addiction?
I might be thinking of something different, but I thought
Memento's
Memento.
the one where part of the movie goes forward, part of it goes backwards. And basically, the guy has short-term memory loss. He gives himself tattoos. He's trying to figure out a crime, and he has short-term memory
I'm
loss.
thinking of something different.
Yeah, I don't think that's the heroin one.
Oh, I'm thinking of Train Spotting.
Oh, Trainspotting.
Train Spotting.
Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Don't know where my brain went.
But Memento is out freaking standing.
Yeah.
It's so good. And it's got, who's the actor that was big for a second at the time? He was huge for a second. Damn it, this is bugging me. Memento. It is, Guy Pearce.
Okay.
So Guy Pearce is in it. It's a good movie. If you don't, log into Canopy tonight or tomorrow, watch that. If of all the things that we've mentioned, Big should be on your list, but Memento, holy shit.
Okay.
So good.
Big, Memento, and
You don't have
Ted
any
Lasso.
problem. You don't have any problem with
He'll send you a text.
attention span, do you?
No.
Okay. Watch Memento.
Look at that cardinal
Which is
back
good
there.
which is good to know. Which is good to know since he's a pilot. You're just now catching that.
Yeah, sorry.
He did.
He's just turning around. Where?
I was zoned out.
Squirrel?
You're right.
Squirrel?
I was like, that was a joke, man. All right, we're at an hour and 7 minutes. I know that you need to get out of here. So you
Yeah,
can get some work done.
unfortunately. And fucking life.
Let's rate these. What do you think? OHLQ is the last
For me,
everyone?
yep. And then, so for me, third
Second
place would be the Costco, the Angels Envy store pick, and then the Party Source is first for me, personally.
I'll go with you, but I'm reversing these two. I'll
Which
put
two?
the OHLQ third.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
You think the
yeah,
Costco is
that-
worse than the OHLQ?
That's So I like different things. So
Sure.
He's allowed.
Yeah,
No, I'm just asking.
that second pop at the end, it's not something you really expect when you drink out of a bourbon.
Yeah.
It mellowed out, it got quiet, and all of a sudden, black licorice.
But
Now, I'm not a black
you
licorice
liked
guy,
that second pop.
but I like, it was something different. You know, it's
All right.
part of the
Yeah,
experience.
understandable.
Fair enough. This is why OHLQ continues to pump shit out.
But it's still third. It's still third. And I hate to put it above the Costco, but it's just something a little different, you know, that you don't really get of the other ones. But they all have the same similar nose profile, same similar taste viscosity profile. But yeah, there's just this is what made it go from fourth to third, in my opinion. But yeah, then I'll do the Party Source and then Angel's Envy Distillery
I think
as the top.
I'm going to say OHLQ last, Costco third, Party Source second, and Angel's Envy last, or best.
I like that we were
We're
all
something
different.
Yeah.
I like that. That doesn't happen all the time.
But I could have gone either way with Party Source or Angel's Envy. I think the reason I like the Angel's Envy better is because it's mine.
That's fair. Sure.
No, but honestly, I think I had it in my head that it was going to be the best one, and I think that probably influenced me a little bit. But I do like it.
This one is an explosion of flavor.
Yeah,
flavor,
it was.
though. It's
That
really
was
good.
fantastic.
It
Party
was for
Source
sure.
pick.
You're both. Oh, look what
Yeah, and the Cinnabon and all that.
look what
really good taste.
Andrew did for my
That's really nice.
my dad's shell casings from his
Yeah,
21 gun
that's
salute.
really cool.
Look at this.
Oh yeah, you talked about that.
He did a drill press, put the chains on him, and then
Wow.
and
Yeah.
then laser engraved.
I was going to say laser engraved those, I'm guessing, yeah.
That's amazing.
That's really cool.
Wow.
He's very talented, Andrew.
No,
is.
he's a jack of all trades, man.
He
It's
is.
crazy.
It's very strange. His
yeah.
history of what he does and his talents, and you would not think that those things go together.
They don't, but he has made them go together.
Yeah,
It's
no, I
interesting.
think that's what makes him like. That's why I enjoy like just talking to him. You know what I mean? He's just a very interesting human.
Yeah, he is for sure. I tried to get him to come over tonight, but he was busy. So
How do the cookies go with some of your
the
picks?
cookies
maple
actually
syrup
enhance
there.
I thought that was
the
really
flavor.
good. Yep,
Yeah.
those cookies were
Interesting, yeah.
fantastic. Those cookies are a
Maple
little
syrup
dangerous.
cookie.
You could eat like a whole package probably in a
I'm
sitting.
I'm ready for a second one right now.
I've done a whole row.
Right.
Let me have a second one actually.
Absolutely.
It could be very
We're
dangerous.
gonna go ahead and end the episode, but I'm gonna seriously.
Twist my arm, man.
You're right.
When do you go back to
Pull the
work?
beard.
Are you?
2 days from now, I actually do my first TransCon coming
Nice.
up
Nice.
Where are you going?
from New York to LA.
Ooh,
That's
nice.
a long haul.
It's a long flight.
Now, when you're doing a first,
So I can watch Big.
can you actually do stuff like that in a?
It's highly frowned upon, but possible.
That's a fair statement.
Not to say we don't do it, but it's frowned upon.
Disclaimer.
That's funny. I'm going to start listening now. When the what is it you say whenever you come on the intercom?
Oh, I say a lot of things. Just
No, but
depends. Did I
there
have
was-
my coffee in the morning?
there was something that you were like,
want to be here.
What was it you always say? They first. But you say you always said something, and I can't remember what it was. The first time you were ever on with us, you said that you say something, and I don't. You were sitting in that exact same spot. Actually, I think you said something. Oh, I always like to say, and I can't remember what it is now.
Welcome to American Airlines.
I can't think
we'll
of-
be flying.
Can't think of the phrase anymore.
That's funny. But when I hear the I'm going to listen for any type of media in the background playing. That's funny. All right. Well, thanks for joining in. When are you available again on a Tuesday or Wednesday?
Coming up, let's see. I do have my whole schedule coming. It's set. The 13th.
Of July?
Oh, no, of June. Next week.
That's next Tuesday.
Oh. You don't think you'd be okay. So I want you to pick one thing. I'll let you borrow an iPad if you need it.
Okay.
Do you have a charger for an iPad?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. You might be an Android guy. I don't know.
True.
So-
Okay, fair.
You don't text each other? Is text green or blue?
Nah, they're blue.
Okay.
They're blue.
Why are mine purple?
So, I'll let you choose between Big, Memento, and Ted Lasso.
Oh.
Ted
Okay,
Lasso,
Ted
you
Lasso,
have,
you said there are
3
two
seasons. There's 3 seasons.
There's a lot to catch up
30
on.
minutes episodes.
I just watched the final episode last night. Finally convinced my wife. She just had surgery on Tuesday, so I was like, "Let's watch Ted Lasso tonight." And so we were both like tearing up a little bit. It was a great final episode. I don't know what the hell Tyler's problem is. He's drunk. It is such a good show. It is such a good show.
Hey, if it's more fodder to just gang up on Tyler and make fun of him online or on the show, all right, let's do it.
All right. When do you leave?
2 days.
Okay. I'll try to get you the iPad tomorrow. And then I'll just let you can, I don't know, just go in there and watch any of the streaming services I have, actually. So I might even have Canopy on there. I don't even know. But you'll see, I have a ton of content in Apple. So, like, tons of purchased movies and stuff like that. So I might even have Big in there. So if you want to watch Big, have at it.
You guys are really hyping Big up. That's
It's
really
a
what put Tom
classic.
Hanks on the map.
It is a
classic.
classic for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, guys. Thanks for joining in, and we're hoping that the next time we have, what is your call sign again?
Flying Buckeye.
Flying Buckeye on the episode. Then hopefully he'll have a little bit of insight into Ted Lasso to prove Tyler.
I think
wrong.
I'm going to go Tyler Lasso. What you call that?
Tyler Lasso.
Tyler Lasso.
I like it.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for joining in. See us next week when we talk about who knows what. Hopefully Ted Lasso, and if not, we'll have something else to do. So, thanks, guys.
Thank you for joining in for yet another episode of the Bourbon Hunters. If you like what you hear, please leave us a good rating on Apple, Podbean, Google, or wherever you are listening. It definitely helps us to get great guests on our show. And follow us on Instagram and the Facebooks to keep up to date with what is in our glass. As always, sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy some bourbon.